Welcome to CELPIP Speaking Task 3, Describing a Scene. In this task, you will be asked to describe a scene or setting based on a visual prompt. Your goal is to create a vivid picture with your words, capturing the details and nuances of the scene so your listeners can fully imagine it. Let's get started and explore how to effectively convey what you see. Let's take a closer look at an essential aspect of effective communication during the speaking test. It's important to remember that the person you're speaking with cannot see the picture you are describing. This is particularly crucial in speaking tasks 3, 4, and 8. When you describe any of the photos, being explicit and detailed in your descriptions is vital. For instance, if I were to say, "The woman is talking to the man," it would be quite challenging for the listener to visualize what I'm referring to. However, if I keep in mind that the listener cannot see the image, I can ensure they have a clearer mental picture. I might begin by introducing the setting, for example, by stating that we are inside a bank. Then I could describe that the man and woman on the left appear to be engaged in a transaction, with the woman possibly handing her ID to the man. This approach allows the listener to form a much clearer image in their mind. So always remember to provide context and detail to help your listener visualize the scene effectively. Let us look at a way to approach this task. It's helpful to begin by identifying the setting of the scene. In this case, we can say that the scene takes place inside a bank. One helpful strategy during the 30-second preparation period is to make a list of people and situations that you can discuss. For example, when looking at this picture, we might identify several key elements to talk about. 1. A man in a suit handing over his ID to an employee. 2. A man in a brown sweater talking to a woman employee behind the counter. 3. A woman sitting in the waiting area with her daughter who is chatting with her while another child plays with a stuffed doll. By noting these details, you'll have a clearer focus for your description and can convey the scene more effectively. Let us take a look at another example. Describe some things that are happening in the picture as well as you can. The person with whom you are speaking cannot see the picture. Please pause your video now and take a moment to answer this question before we proceed to listen to a response. Be sure to record your response and keep track of your time. This is a response to Speaking Task 3. Let's take a moment to listen.
It is a sunny day at the intersection. There's a traffic light controlling the cars. I see a man pushing a baby in a stroller and reading a book as he crosses the road. Kind of impressive, right? Nearby, a bunch of school kids are using the main zebra crossing. Some are distracted while crossing. In the background, there's a playground full of kids playing. Along the sidewalk, there are stalls selling all sorts of things, which makes it feel pretty lively. I notice a man in green standing with his daughter by one of the stalls. Oh, and there's another zebra crossing close to the playground where a little child is crossing by themselves, which is, a bit concerning. Overall, it's a really lively scene that shows a nice day in this community.
Let's evaluate this response. First, consider how effectively the speaker communicated their ideas. Think about the clarity, coherence, and vocabulary used. Now, please choose the speaking level that you believe this response falls into from the following options. A. CELPIP levels 11 and 12. B. CELPIP levels 9 and 10. C. CELPIP levels 7 and 8. Take a moment to reflect on the response and make your selection. We will now evaluate the speaking response based on the CELPIP scoring criteria, which focus on 4 key dimensions: content and coherence, vocabulary, listenability, and task fulfillment. First, in terms of content and coherence, the speaker describes a lively scene with several observations, including a man with a stroller, school children, and a playground. These ideas are connected and help create a vivid image of the environment. However, some points could be further developed for clarity. For instance, while the detail about the man reading a book is interesting, it lacks additional context that could enrich the narrative. Next, looking at vocabulary, the speaker uses appropriate language for the context. Phrases such as lively scene and a bit concerning indicate a reasonable range of vocabulary. However, the frequent use of filler words like like, and detracts from the overall quality and impact of the language. In terms of listenability, the speaker generally maintains good fluency. Pronunciation is clear and the rhythm is mostly effective. However, the overuse of fillers interrupts the flow of speech, and strategically placed pauses could enhance the delivery and understanding. Finally, regarding task fulfillment, the response successfully describes a scene and remains relevant throughout. Nevertheless, a more structured approach and a deeper exploration of observations would strengthen the response. Considering all these aspects, I would place this response in the CELPIP levels 9 and 10 category. This indicates effective communication of ideas with room for improvement in coherence and vocabulary depth.